So, Forex is a zero-sum game, but stock trading is a positive sum. What do we mean by this?
In essence, when you buy a share, you are participating as an owner of a company. And certainly, at least in the West, we've lived with these government policies of wanting to have constant economic growth. And that manifests itself with the value of things going up, in particular, companies increasing in value. Not all companies, some go bankrupt, but certainly the big ones hopefully will increase in value over time because you own bricks and mortar. And as we said, when you actually enter into an FX transaction, it's the exchange of one piece of paper that's colored green for one that's colored red. And so where's the tangible value? Where's the asset in that? And that's sort of the big argument for the fact that if I want to make money on my side, some other guy has to lose money on his side, and the thing isn't really tangible in the first place. So, as we said, the reason that I don't believe that that's the case is how do you define the word game? The word game you define in terms of objectives. And the objectives of the individuals and participants in this game are not all the same. And ultimately, if you want to define benefit as the desired outcome and people having different outcomes, it can be that two people can have the same outcome and one can profit, but maybe the other, because that's his outcome, the other one will have to lose something, and then sort of money moves from one place to another. I think it's very important to understand what game means and the fact that you can make money because other people's objectives are not necessarily to maximize profit.
The leverage for Forex is larger than stocks, so you have the potential to lose or make a lot of money. Could you talk about that?
Yes, leverage is a two-edged sword. So the way people understand leverage usually tends to be as this thing that can make me a lot of money very quickly, but if I don't use it right, it can lose me money. And because FX naturally is marketed to the retail investor as offering leverage 1 to 100, 1 to 500, most people think, oh, that's what I have to use. But that's not the case. So if I buy a stock and I buy, let's say, Next, and I pay at the moment maybe, I don't know, £4 to buy a share of Next, and I have to lay out the full £4. Well, I can do the same thing in currencies. Just because the broker offers me that leverage doesn't mean I have to fully employ it. Leverage has another implication, however, and the implication is, and this is something that tends to get completely overlooked by people, how fast can I make money? So a lot of people ask, how much money can I make? Well, let's say you can turn $1 into $1 million. Okay, a lot of people say that's great, but if you tell them it'll take you 1,000 years, they lose interest. Therefore, it's not just as important to ask how much money can I make, but how much money over a given time frame. And that's where leverage becomes really important because it allows you to actually target not just the amount of money you make, but the amount of time it takes. And that's where understanding your own trading is really important because leverage, as we said, you can incur loss. But your own trading pattern generates a P&L curve. You yourself are generating value. So let's assume that indeed you are making money over time. Well, you're not going to make money in a straight line. Nobody does. You're going to have periods of losses. So what you really have to understand to use the right leverage is how big those losses are. Because let's say that you buy something and you expect to make a 30% loss, then you shouldn't trade more than 3 times leverage because at 3 times leverage, 30% is 100%, you lose everything. So at the same time, by using 2 times leverage, you actually make more money rather than having just used 1 times leverage. So leverage isn't this, oh my God, it's dangerous. It's only if you misuse it. It's really about how do you, given your own performance, know how to optimize and make money in the quickest possible time possible.